Hi, yes, my name is Edward Alonso, and I'm a senior here at UTSA and part of the Multidisciplinary Studies program here. The topic that I've selected today to discuss is the gun ownership in America. So what we'll do is cover some of these topics, and I'll cover this through our background here. Uh, Gun ownership, it's an American right. It's guaranteed to us by the founding fathers through the Second Amendment. It's an amendment that guarantees every American the right to bear arms. It's a hotly debated topic, one that a lot of proponents and, of course, opponents go to head in heated debate. Also, we'll cover the sense of security that owning a gun uh, brings forward, and how many handgun owners or actually gun owners in general feel that owning a gun gives them that sense of security for protection. We'll briefly discuss gun control efforts. That's again a hotly debated topic, both at the federal and state level as well too. We'll also go and cover current views and controversies. Currently in the state of Texas, we have a bill in the state legislature now. We're looking to actually have a open carry law that will allow citizens to carry handguns out in the open, provided that those individuals have concealed handgun licenses. So, okay, next topic that we'll cover is our research questions that we have. So the questions that we're looking to answer here as part of this research project is gun ownership on the rise in America? And second, we'll cover, is there a correlation between gun ownership and crime rates? Just because we have gun ownerships, and how does that relate to the crime rates? Does it have an effect in controlling or have any effect on crime rates across America? So the hypothesis as part of this project is gun ownership on the rise in America? Studies have shown that most of the time, over a 10-year period that we'll see here in a follow-up screen, is that over a 10-year period, uh, pretty much gun ownership has pretty much stayed steady, though here recently we've seen a decrease in the amount of ownership of guns, but yet we are seeing an increase in the amount of gun ownership purchases or gun purchases. Um, so we'll go ahead and look at our results. Again, here's that 10-year trend that we show of gun ownership. It's pretty much steady. So what you see here in the brown is the number of gun owners that actually, the question that was posed to these folks was, do you own a gun? So over a 10-year period starting in 1996, we could see that only 43.4% of the people that were questioned in this study responded that no, or actually yes, they did own a gun, with 56.2% not owning a gun. And you can see that trend kind of holds steady for that 10-year period ending in 2006. So it kind of pretty much is flat. But beyond 2006, studies have shown that we're starting to see a decline in that trend. We're also starting to see a decline in the many folks that responded to this question, that why have guns, and some folks have responded that it was because of for hunting purposes. But even that had showed that there was a decline in the owning of guns. So the results of the research, after having reviewed the data, has resulted that no, gun ownership is not on the rise. It's pretty much leveled. It's stayed. And actually, back in 1996, the rate was at about 31% of homeowners that or gun owners that owned a gun, where we're starting to see a decline now as of recently as 2012. It's now sitting at about 22% of individuals showing that they do, or indicating that they do own a handgun or a gun, period. So some of the facts that were uncovered as part of this research is that 14% of individuals under the age of 35 actually own guns. And then, of course, 31% of those individuals who were age 65 and over owned a handgun. And then, of course, 50% in the late 1970s, 50% were gun owners as of 1970. You could see that in 2010, gun ownership had declined to down 32%. Um, Here's some other facts that I have uncovered as part of this research as well too. What is the race or ethnicity breakdown? And as you can see, 41% of these folks that were part of the study indicated 41% were either non-Hispanic white as gun owners. Blacks comprised of 19% of gun owners, and of course Hispanics also in that same line at about 20%. When you break it down by a political party, you can see that Republicans are the majority here at 49% ownership of guns, whereas Democrats were at 22% and independents at 37%. So the conclusion is that gun ownership is not on the rise, um, and gun purchases are up. So that's kind of a correlation that we have, even though we don't have ownership increasing, but those folks that currently own a gun are actually actively out purchasing guns. What are the reasons for gun ownerships that we did find is number one, the sense of security of having a gun, and then second is that Second Amendment right that's granted to all Americans, and that's the right to own a handgun. This concludes my research, and thank you.